everyone! Welcome to another video. This is Jill and you're on The Good Light TV. In this video, I wanted to quickly share some suggestions for questions that I have gotten often when Vero was in the toddler years. It came in many different forms also. Pwedeng yung tanong is kung ano yung curriculum na gamit ko, or kung ano yung resources na gamit namin, or paano ko alam kung ano yung ituturo ko kay Vero. So in this video, I wanted to share with you some of the key lessons that we went through in the toddler years that we feel like we have started to reap the benefits of now that Vero is in his preschool years. He's almost 6 years old and we can already see na, okay, dahil tinuruan natin siya ng ganito dati, that's why ganito siya ngayon. So, number one is discipline and values. Discipline is, it's not a one-size-fits-all. So, iba-ibang method of discipline yan. And you'll have to see which one fits for your child or for your family. So, pwedeng, kung ano yung method na nag-fit sa panganay mo, will not be the same method of discipline that will be fit for your second child. Kasi pwedeng magkaiba sila ng personalities. There are children who are calm and who take instructions better than some. There are also people who have more of a rebellious streak. Just like me, when I was growing up, alam ko talaga na I had a rebellious streak in me. At 4 years old, I jumped in a pool. Yung height ng pool is 10 feet because gusto kong matuto mag-swim. And a lot of my friends knew how to swim. Ako lang yung hindi marunong. So I made sure I went out to the public pool and I made sure that no one was there so that I can really practice how to swim. So I jumped on the 10 feet area and that's how I learned how to swim. Diba? 4 years old, even before I even went to school. So, iba yung method of discipline sa akin compared sa method of discipline ng kuya ko. Iba din yung personality ng kuya ko. So, kung ano yung pagdisiplina mo sa anak mo would be dependent on the personality of the child. Tandaan natin na when we discipline our kids, we don't want to drive them to anger or else they will just be rebelling against it. So, hindi siya effective. If you can see that your child is rebelling against it or is not really following through on the method of discipline that you are trying to implement, then you have to start thinking about that method and maybe trying to see what other methods are available. Another one is yung values. Kailangan maaga pa lang alam na ng mga anak natin kung ano yung mga dapat, yung mga manners, kung paano tayo magbigay galang sa ibang tao, how we should behave in public versus how we should behave at home. Siyempre, yung mga bahay natin is a safe place for our children. And so that's why you will notice that some of our children are more magulo sa bahay. And that is okay because that is their safe place. It is a safe place for them to explore their creativity, explore their individuality, and explore their personalities. Okay lang yun. Which is why you are there as a parent para pagsabihan sila kung may magagawa silang mali or hindi maganda. Number 2, early on, dahil medyo hindi ako magaling sa math, I wanted Vero to have a good number sense. So early on, at 2 years old, tinuturuan ko na siya ng concrete examples of mathematics. Like for example, we did a lot of logic games, puzzles, mga building blocks, and also we started counting, depende sa kung anong play niya. So during that time when he started playing with blocks, yun yung ginagamit namin pang count. That time that he jumped to dinosaurs, yun yung ginagamit namin na pang-count. Kahit anong bagay na pwede mong gamitin pag-build ng number sense. And now that he is 6 years old, nakikita ko na yun na parang, my son has a good sense of numbers and logical process. Kasi nga, maaga ko siyang nabigyan ng solid sense of numbers. So it's not like binigyan ko siya ng mga symbols on a paper, asking him to understand the symbols. Hindi. Inuna kong ipaalam sa kanya na ito, ang 1 ay isa. Physically. So, kailangan may ganun silang solid sense of numbers early on to help them in the future, especially when they start learning about mathematics. Ako kasi personally, na-enjoy ko lang yung math bandang high school na, nung medyo mas naiintindihan na ng utak ko. Pero around elementary, umiiyak ako with my dad pag tinuturuan niya ako ng mathematics kasi hindi ko siya talaga maintindihan. Pag tinatanong niya ako, ilan ang 2 sa 10? So I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Tapos magbibilang ako hanggang 10. Tapos sasabihin ko, 1 lang. Kasi 1 lang yung 2 na. Hindi ko siya gets. Wala akong number sense early on. So this is something that I wanted to build in my child early on. And maybe if that's you also, this is a suggestion that you can take. Number 3 is the love for learning. A lot of times, yung mga bata, marami silang tanong, Mama, ano yung ganito? Ano yung ganyan? And minsan, dahil pagod tayo, it's so easy to shut them down. Pero, mas maganda kung na-encourage natin sila magtanong because that helps them build curiosity and the love for learning. Even, for example, pag nagtanong sila at sabay ninyong na-discover yung sagot, you can even put positive reinforcements there. Like, for example, wow, ang galing, hindi ko din alam yun, pero ngayon alam na natin. You know, something encouraging that will give him a spark for learning and for loving the process of finding out something. Now, Vero at 5 years old was able to exclaim, Mama, I love learning. Learning is so much fun. Dahil allowed siya magtanong and allowed siya mag-explore. He's allowed to ask. He's allowed to look for answers. So, and we actually encourage that. Kahit minsan nakakainis yung puro, why? Wala na akong isasagot. Pero, encourage pa din kasi we have a lot of resources available to us. Isa na dyan yung internet. Madalas, pag hindi ko makuha yung explanation online, nagtatanong ako sa Facebook ko, sa personal page ko. Nagka-crowdsource ako, guys, sino may alam ng ganito ganyan? Para lang maituro ko siya sa anak ko. Para lang hindi ko siya binitin na, sige, alamin natin, tapos wala akong isasagot sa kanya. Number 4 is alphabet sounds, more than the actual alphabet letters. Because alphabet sounds are used by your children to form words or to spell, to read. If you teach them alphabet sounds early on, instead of alphabet letters, they'll have a better grasp early on na yung mga words are formed by putting together the sounds of the alphabet. Number 5 is reading. So a lot of the things that our children learn are learned through encouragement and exposure. So isa dyan yung reading. Reading is an essential tool for learning, and this is why I think that it should be one of the first few things that you have to teach your toddlers. Because if you want your kids to be able to learn independently as they get older, isa yan sa mga kailangan nilang matutunan. Magbasa. Magbasa, magsulat, at umintindi. So, reading to them every night. We have been reading to Vero almost every night, if not every night. And natuto siyang magbasa around 5 years old. Compared to some of his peers, that's late. But, hindi siya pressured. Hindi naman siya pressure na, matuto ka magbasa ng ganito. Ganito yung mga sounds, ganyan. Hindi naman siya pressure. We just kept reading to him. We just kept reading with him. And eventually, he started putting things together in his mind, started connecting na ideas, na ganito pala pag nagbabasa, you put words together and stuff like that. And now that he's almost 6 years old, he can already read phrases and sentences, even complex words. So, yan. Isa yan sa mga bagay na we should teach our children in the early years. Number 6 is the arts. So, any form of creative expression, music, dancing, singing, painting, drawing, scribbling, any form of arts is, I think, very beneficial to the young brain because arts allows for creative thinking. So, kung ang bata ay marunong mag-isip creatively, they are able to think of solutions in their head. Hindi kailangan na maging pintor sila in the future or maging magaling sa arts. Yung anak ko, very logical yung process niya. Although you can see that he is a creative thinker because he has creative solutions to problems. Minsan na magbibigay siya sa akin ng problem na, Mama, look at this. I think we should do this instead. Yung mga ganun niya. Without prodding from me. And I think a lot of that comes from his practice of the creative arts. Minsan we encourage them to color using coloring books. Ang mga bata, hindi kailangan na mag-color within the lines. They can color outside of the lines. Sometimes we ask adults to think outside the box, but then when you have kids, you ask them to color inside the lines. It's kind of ironic that we do that. Whether your child is an intellectual or a creative, it is beneficial for all brains to practice the arts because of the creative process that goes with it and the training for creative thinking that goes along with it. And the last but not the least is the love and security that they get from us. Studies have shown that when children feel loved and secured, their brains are geared towards learning. So, can you imagine smart kids having been fed love and security will become even smarter because their brains are maximized for learning. They don't have to worry about being loved and feeling loved and even security because their parents are able to give them security from love. Hindi necessarily na security na kailangan maganda yung bahay or maraming masasarap na pagkain. Hindi kailangan ganun. Yung security na tinutukoy po natin dito is yung security na alam nila na kahit anong mangyari, meron silang magulang na pwedeng sandalan. So, ayun po. In the early years, important yung play sa mga bata. Actually, in some philosophies, they even suggest all the way up to 7 years old. Wala mo ng academics. Puro play lang. So, a lot of these things you can teach through play in your house or outside in the community. Huwag po natin pressurein yung mga anak natin na kailangan nila matutunan yung mga ganito, ganyan. At this age, kailangan matutunan sila magsulat. Hindi po kailangan ganun because by the time that they are older, matututunan po nilang lahat yan. Hindi po ito unahan, wala pong race na gaganap. Kung ano yung gift ng ibang bata, gift po nila yun. Kung ano yung gift ng anak mo, yun po yung gift nila. So, tanggapin po natin at huwag po natin i-pressure yung mga anak nila. Because one of the things that will build their love for learning is the encouragement that they get from you without pressure. Tandaan po natin na ang parenting only falls on the parents. We cannot expect other people to parent our own children. So if you will not do it, no one will do it. It is my hope that this video has encouraged us to be more intentional towards parenting our children. And I hope that you learned something from this video, maybe some questions that some of you might have. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for more updates in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, and God bless us all.